Hello once again, this is Moses. I want to welcome you back to yet another video about something new trending. So I'm just gonna talk about this new tool which is really trending for now. It's gonna be like a month ever since it has been released. So I've been wondering how to use it, and that's why I decided to make this video. After all, trying to figure out the usage and all of that, and maybe to explain more about what it does and what the problem it's trying to solve. So without further wasting more time, let's get dive into the video. So as you can see, I'm on Twitter. These are the posts from the creator called Aiden BI. If you try to click onto him, first of all, he's trying to say in his bio, he's working is the developer behind the Million JS. If you've used it before, I've been using it. It's quite a good one. So it's a developer behind that, and as well as you know has been able to work onto different tools. Now, on the tools he has made, one of the tools he has made this year is called React Scan. You can be asking yourself, what is React Scan? So this is purely a drop-in script to scan your React app for slow performance and renders. So it's something we are going to be diving in and trying to try it out. And the most fun part of all of this, that this is open source. So he has his first post which he pinned. If I click onto it, we're gonna see. So he's trying to show a demo of the usage. Like you can see, it's trying to scan the React component. It only works with React, as we're gonna see why. And currently it's on React, only supporting React. So it tries to check something you could have done with your dev tools, which is so hectic. I mean, it's hard to get perfect scans like we're gonna see, like these ones actually you're seeing right now. So if you scroll down, it was a nice beautiful thread where he was trying to talk about the tool. So he mentions and says previous tools required manual code change and lacked simple visual cues, which is true actually. So instead, React Scan automatically detects bad renders, and this shows you exactly what you need to fix, and take less 60 seconds to set up. So I bet it's something we're gonna I bet it's something we should try out, and it's what we are going to try out. So the thread is long. So he's trying to show he tried to show the Twitter behind being scanned. So here's Twitter being React scanned, and you can see it turns out even production apps that serve millions of users can have runway renders. All of that is what we're going to be seeing. I'm going to show you how you can do that. So he went ahead and got the fastest website, which took over the MC Master, one of the Next.js, and he tried to React scan it, which is something also we're gonna do, something we're gonna look at. So he has also went up and tried to scan the GitHub repo to see what happens behind the scenes. You have been always wondering, how do these guys render stuff? So this is a cool project, and yeah, so it's something we're going to be diving out. So it goes ahead and says React Scan should help find problematic renders in your code. So if you're looking for something more advanced, you can check out Million Lints, which I can make a video specifically for Million Lints. If you're looking for something like that, if you want me to make a video of that kind, you can write down in the comment section. But if we scroll back and we get access to the GitHub, which I already have open, if I click onto it here, so the GitHub repository, it's looking like this. I already gave it a star, of course, because it really deserves it. It is a lifesaver. I've used it for the time I've been using it. It's really massive, and I just like it. I'm just falling in love with it every single day. So what we're gonna do is go through it all together. So he set up a nice readme, though most of the times things are hard to set up if you're kind of a beginner, or to read through and understand what this all means, but that's why I'm here in this video today. So we're gonna go through all of this, which is not too much, but we're gonna go through all of it and try to understand how to use it and why we should use it. So he explains it as we've got to say about it before, that React Scan automatically detects performance issues in your React application. So previously there were many tools used, like the profiler. I've used it. I can make even one video about that, but I've been using profiler. So there's which actually, to be true, required lots of manual changes. And why did you render? That's the question you always asked, and that was a tool which came in, and it was called what do you render, so which lacked simple visual cues. And later on, the React Dev tools that were released, which didn't have simple, portable, and programmatic API, which is true. And now React Scan comes in to attempt to solve the problems. So first of all, the greatest thing of all, it acquires no code, meaning even though one of your team or you're trying to work on a project with your client, they can easily use it, because this is like requires no code knowledge or no code changes. So you just drop it in and everything is magical. So it highlights exactly the components you need to optimize. What a beautiful thing that I've been looking for always. So we can use it via the script tag. Maybe you're running, you just want to place it as a script tag in your head, which you're going to see, or you want to just install it as a package, or you want to use the CLI. You name it, anything you want, you can use the React Scan. And it's open source. It's already trusted by Igni as a team at Airbnb, Shopify, the Fair, and the Perplexity, which you know bigger campaigns already. So, and this tool has been just released a month back, because it has been released in November, but already bigger campaigns are running onto it. So why don't you try it out yourself as well? So this is like a demo we've seen. So maybe you're looking for more advanced version, you can check out a Million Link. Now Million Link, like I said before, it's also a tool which does something of this kind, also built by the same developer. And yeah, so if you want something more advanced, you can check it out, Million Lint. And today, since it's not a video about Million Lint, I'm just gonna keep myself talking on to React Scan. So first thing you need to do is install. So looking for React Native, but React Native is still on the queue, as you're gonna see. But the fastest way to get started via CLI is this. So this will spin up an isolated browser instance which you can interact or use React Scan with. So you simply run npx npx react scan at latest. This will first of all install that, and then try um, to pass in the what you want to check out, or maybe the localhost, you want to check out the localhost, something like that. You can simply place anything, meaning you can scan technically any website on the web. So as simple as that. So you can also add it to your existing dev process as well. And here's an example for Next.js. So you can do, under your dev, you can just add a script, which can be like maybe scan, which you run both of them, the next dev and the React Scan at latest under the localhost, which is a good thing as well. We shall look at that probably. So if you don't want to use a separate browser, he goes ahead and says access to your, if you don't want to use a separate browser and you have access to your local code base, then add this script into your app. You can simply copy this and add it into your Next.js application, and he has beautiful examples made. If you're a pages Next.js page user, use the pages, you can simply do it like this. You pass it in the head, as we all know, and it's done. Then after the body, under the main, you pass the script and then you import it upstairs. But if you're a person who uses the app router like me, you simply do it this easy way. You just go ahead after your head and then you write the script. You place the script. It should be async. That's the only thing you have to be curious about. So after that, also maybe you're a Vite user, it also supports Vite. You can do the same as well. So after that, they have a full API reference, guys. So if you need programmatic, let me try to zoom in. Oops, okay. So if you need a programmatic API to debug further, he tells us to install via npm instead. So I can do npm install react scan, which you're gonna do after all, reading all here. So then in your application, import this before the react. So before doing anything, like, before importing the react, you just simply have to put these on top. Maybe this can be into your layout anyways. So, and he goes ahead and tells us this must run in a client context, not in a server component. So if you're going to try to use this in your layout, it should be like coming in a file which is for example a client-sided context, not a server side. So he has API options which they went ahead and tried to give us what this React scan triggers. You can trigger the scan, you can trigger the use scan, you can trigger the with scan, you can trigger the get report, you can trigger the set options, you can trigger the on render, you can trigger the lots of stuff you can trigger. But now the biggest question is you're asking yourself, why should I use React scan? That's brilliant. React can be tricky to optimize, just to be honest with you. I've tried doing this, but it's always tricky to optimize a React component. Most of the times, 100%, it's always, I mean, it's not easy. It's always harder to optimize React application. So the issue is that component props are compared. They are compared references, not value. So this is intentional. This is why rendering can be cheap to run. So, but however, this makes it easy to accidentally cause unnecessary renders, making the app slow, which is true. So even production apps with hundreds of engineers can't fully optimize their apps. See, you can read more about these blobs from GitHub, the Twitter, the Instagram. You can read more of that and you get to find out why. But this often comes down to props that update in reference, like callbacks or object values. For example, the on-click functions, the styles object recreated on every render, causing expensive component to slow down the application. That's why most of the applications we build or you have built, you've seen them getting slow because of things like that. He gave an example. So for example, this is an expensive component, how it could look like. For example, you have a button somewhere which is having an on click, it's rendering something, and again you're having some styles there. This is like an expensive component. So he went again and explained why React Scan is going to help you identify these issues by automatically detecting and highlighting renders that cause performance issues. Now instead of guessing which could be which could be bringing the slowness in my application, you can see exactly which components you need to fix. So why this instead of React Dev Tools? That's a big question you can ask. You can go ahead and read. React Dev Tools aims to be a general purpose tool for React. However, I deal with React performance issues every day, and React Dev Tools doesn't fix my problems. That was him trying to say this. So there's a lot inside of noise. There's a lot of noise, not obvious this distinction between unnecessary and unnecessary renders. Okay, and there's no programmatic API. So if it sounds like you have the same problems, then React Scan may be a better choice. Also, he has went again and did more comparison, and he tried to compare this and this, and 100% I've been using the tool and I can testify it's really good one. So he has this one. When is it coming onto the React Native? If you build with React Native like still I do, he says it's coming soon. That's something promising. So he's also planning to make a Chrome extension, and all of this, since it's open source, you can help him do this, or I can help him do this. So I can go into the project, check on the issues there that are there, see what I can contribute to, and make something big out of it, because at the end of the day we see we have 10 contributors yet. So you can imagine your pull request and all of that, and things maybe may end up good for you. So the roadmap is here. What they've done, all of the thing. They've done most of the stuff. Only a few remaining. So maybe if you're an open source love as well, you can find something, or you can wait for the point where you think you can jump in according to the um, according to the roadmap, how it's going. So yeah, this is basically this like understanding the basics of the application and how it works. Now going back to how this exactly works. So if I try to scroll and we go start doing this exactly practically, so we're gonna go ahead and maybe choose this. If you need a programmatic API to debug further, install via npm instead. So if I copy this, npm install React Native, and go ahead and open my terminal. I'm a person who loves PowerShell. I just paste in this. This is what this is going to do, is going to go ahead and install React Scan, which I've already installed, but maybe there was some new versions before, that's why it has added more packages. So with that done, so the next thing, you asking yourself now, how can I use this? How can I start running this? The first instance I've given out, this first instance we're trying to do is testing out anything on the web. So for example, I can go ahead and now scroll upstairs here, get here, and copy this first one, npx creates. I copy this, I come and I can first clear my browser, and then I just paste in this. So after pasting in this, the next thing, you just hit space. Let me first try and zoom in. So the next thing, you hit space. Now what are you gonna enter after hitting space? Any link or any URL you want to target. For example, you can put your URL to Twitter. You can simply just do x.com, or you can just copy anything and maybe do x.com. So after that, you can hit enter. So after doing that, what it's going to do is now going to go ahead and run React Scan. So it's going to open up a new browser instance, like we've got to understand, like he has explained before. So if it opens up that new browser instance, you see already it has started working. Trying to see how these guys optimize. Trying to show you how this is really a useful tool. For example, if I try to except, you see, all the time I'm trying to hover something, they are rendering something onto this uh x x. Now you see, like, this is so much running on, just like you hovering, things are already running in the background. You see, for example, if I hover on the logo, there's nothing gonna happen, but if I try to hover here, they are meaning they are re-rendering something behind the scene there. For example, if I close up this button, you see, I can be able to see that. So maybe if I go back to my terminal, you see, it's trying to be showing you directly what you are. So far we've scanned 205 scans made. So the more we continue being like this, the more scans are increasing, meaning something is already re-rendering. So by the time you think you're just hovering on anything, things are running behind the scenes. This is how they made it. For example, if I go more into details and maybe click onto the sign in, you see things trying to re-render. You see all of that, that is re-rendering. For example, I can put in my, you see, so we're trying to re-render. If I click onto this this thing onto the React Scan that we got here, so I can come and click onto this icon, the first one, to the inspector. This is called like the inspector. So if I click on it, I can target a specific component I want to track. So if I click, for example, onto this input, now it's gonna give me if I click onto this input and hit like that, now it's gonna give me full details of the all the props that this thing is taking, and also it's gonna give me the value, the previous value. It's gonna give me everything, like everything is so cool. For example, I can try to change anything, um, I can come ahead and here and and try to change. You see that renders are happening um, immediately, so I can go ahead and start to read more of it. You see the state displayed count, things that are running currently just by me entering my user handle. See the things running behind the scenes. All of these are running this behind the scenes. Let me just log in and let me move this. So I'm just gonna put in so we need to find your account. I think that's it. So enter phone number or email address at icloud.com. So after putting that, then they're gonna ask me my password, which I know. Uh, so just by entering anything, like in my application, just entering things that are already re-rendering. Have a look at this, guys. Like we are trying to scan the whole of Twitter. We're trying to scan the whole of the Twitter behind the scenes. So maybe if we try to maximize this, you see if you're trying to look at our console, look, we so far we rendering or scanning lots of stuff. The value we have is 130 something. Things are re-rendering every second. You see Twitter is just like flashing. You see, we have some breaking news. The future of smartphone has arrived, Android 15. So you can you see, the moment you like or you just think that you're reposting, lots of re-renders are happening. Now, for instance, if you try to reload again the browser, you're gonna see the renders that are happening. Look at the side, but um, look at the renders that are really happening. Look at this. This is uh, so much. Like you're trying to scroll, just scrolling. Already things are really um, rendering a lot. So now you can go much into details. He has even a new tweet. Hey, Apple search bar is infinitely rendering low. So you can go ahead and do all of this, but you can still go more into further details. There's this icon. If I stop this, I'll stop catching all the stop scanning. But if I want to go ahead maybe and add some noisy to see how it feels like for a minute. So if you scroll when you have this noise, it will sound like that, boom boom, something that noise. I mean, to identify that we are rendering. Look, just scrolling back upstairs, things are rendering. So now this is a very useful tool in a way that you can now start to know which things may slow up your application. Not only that, but if you try to hover on something alone, I don't know if you can see these values, but if you hover on anything, it shows you the actual amount it takes like to render. It shows you all of that. So if you click onto again onto this application, I mean this selector, for example, I can select the bunch of all of, maybe I can say I want to go upstairs and maybe select this range. So if I select this range, I'm going to be able to see everything that's happening into this range. I can go ahead and see what's running, the direction, LTR, the local English. So I can get all of the information that I've still had gotten with my dev tool, but I'll be able to see it more in a more good, I mean, in a more nicer way here. I can read the whole of the context. I can do a lot. You see all the functions that they are running. They're trying to check something, if it's model, if it's this is really an amazing tool. This is a really an amazing tool. So like you can do a lot, which I cannot do all today and finish into the, I mean, within this video. But I'm just trying to show you the ones with the red markers show that something is definitely too, like, too much. It's rendering too much, which may be causing a problem for your application. So now to stop this, you can go ahead and just stop this here. um and stop this clicking on the eye icon. So if you stop that, you will happen nothing is gonna happen, like you're not gonna be rendering at all at all. If I just remove the selector, you see that nothing is really gonna be rendering at all. But the most thing I love it the I love about it is the most thing that I like about it is if I try to click onto this and I can select a custom component only for that, a custom component only for that. For example, I can select that I want to check out something, only this. So if I click here, I'll be able to select only this component and I'll just focus on that. I'll try to see how long does it take. I mean, lots of stuff I can do there. But now, like, that was the first instance of trying to check for any browser. So as you can see, it can tell you from the page you've gone, the login, we've rendered something like 296. So on this one, we rendered 500 and lots of stuff. We rendered lots of stuff here, lots of stuff. You see, we just even not rendering, but it's just there. We're rendering onto the home page. So to stop this, you can just simply Control C. So with that, takes a while, then it stops, it breaks the instance it had created, the browser instance, and everything is okay. Good. So now we are going to an instance which for example, the instance of localhost. For example, if you have your project, I'm having a map project here trying to run. It's an Next.js application app router. So we saw here, there's an example. Maybe we want to use a script for this. I'll just go ahead and go back, scroll to look for this page where we have Next.js application. So what I said, go to your app layout.tsx. So I'll just copy this and go to my application layout, and I'll look for my head. Basically, if you don't have the head, look after the HTML. What you can have is the head tag before even the body. So I can go ahead and add the head, and after targeting the head, I add the script. So after adding the script, the only thing you don't have to do there, everything is okay. So if you just save this, just remove this. So if you save this and you go trying to check onto your running, so if I trying to go here, I'm having the instance running, I guess. So if I try to run here, I mean to refresh here, let's see if you get it. This is anyway a password game, by the way. If you didn't know about it, I have a video where I build this online, and also the repository is open source and we can use it. I mean, you can use it, or you can add some stuff and all of that. So now I have already it running. You can see it's counting errors, toast, meaning this toast is re-rendering a lot behind the scene, and this is not me. I mean, this is not mine at all. This is controlled by the it's coming in built already. But leave alone that, if I click onto that and maybe I try to click here, maybe I try to focus onto this input, and I try to say hello. Is it putting anything? For example, if I try and say, oops, something is not working properly. So I think just need to make a refresh. Wait, so I'm just trying to make a refresh. After rendering, it's still reloading. I don't know what's wrong. Let's just kill this. And try to open it one more time and try out something. So it has opened up again. So if I try to click onto this selector, for example, I can select this input field, Let me first remove the selector and click here. So if I click onto this selector, maybe go click onto the input that I want to select. I don't know if it's selecting it, but it should select it. So if I click on the inspector, if I don't, it works. So if I come and click on it and select it, so after selecting it, you see now we are seeing already the number of page renders here, meaning the page is really rendering a lot. You see here things that started even to break. Look at the re-renders, look at the errors trying to run behind the scene. So let's try to refresh again. All of this wasn't there before adding this this React scan. So it's simply, this is one of the best reasons why I like it. It goes ahead and shows you exactly that something is wrong in your component, and I've done this intentionally because I know I have somewhere I'm trying to use a use callback in a wrong way in my application to, give this out the real vibe. If, for example, if I go and verify that in my page to tsx, you see having but use effects, having a use effect which is trying to render many times. I guess that's the problem. It's trying to do something which is keeping on rendering a lot. So if I click onto here and can select it, already it's gonna start breaking. So if I try to type hello, so it is like re-rendering a lot. You see we have re-renders 1050. I don't know if you guys can see it, but that's it. And the good thing with this, if maybe you're trying to run something locally, you get an extra feature which is this eye. This eye is called a replay component. So sometimes these re-renders try to run so fast, but you can click onto this to this re-render object to show you, to make a replay. Now you see immediately when I clicked onto it, started giving some weird things here. That's like a replay turnaround of trying to generate a replay for this. If I turn it off, if I try to turn it off, let me guess, to switch this off, the selector. If I get the selector off, and you see these now, these are coming in from that something is trying to be rendered too much. You can simply stop it by clicking onto this eye, remember. And yeah, so to, you can go, if I go to that repository here, I can copy this link because that's the live version, like so I can come back here and say maybe I want to test out this time around that insert, so that maybe I want to test out the deployed version of it to verify all of this. So it will open up React Scan in a new browser instance, so it will go ahead and make it scans. So if you're trying to check onto, you see there's something wrong onto this page, because you cannot tell me you're having just a normal line. So like this is the most advantageous part, whereby it made me love this tool a lot. You cannot tell someone that I'm having just a normal page like this, which is rendering lots of time. You see, it's not even like Twitter, it's not like anything, but it's just behind the scenes always rendering. So if I try to search anything, maybe I'm doing hello blah, trying to play all of these games uppercase, maybe trying to make the character. So all of these, like if you're now trying to check again there, you're gonna see that these are like paused, because now it's trying to check to verify the problem is the problem. Now these are increasing slowly because the problem is on the first initial render. So if you click onto this and try to select this input once again, um, you can see the context, which is okay. Okay, the array which is returning so far, it has 5 questions, which is 1 2 3 4, and the next one coming in the loop. It is having submit count is dirty, loading is dirty, is loading. It is having these states running, so it's trying to show you is that is false, is invalid, false. So name, which is password, like this. So it also gives you such params, the props, which is not onto this page. So if I reload it one more time and trying to scan the whole of the entire application, so what happens? I don't know why I cannot scan this, but it should be working anyways. My computer has some bad issues, I guess, my laptop. But this is like this is a tool I really like. I've been using it. It's an amazing tool. You can go ahead and try testing something else. You can stop this. You can stop this and try out any other website. For example, I can go ahead, I can go ahead and go to my website, my portfolio. So if I click onto that, I want to check what's rendering or how is it performing. So it's gonna load as I turn to monitor around here. It hasn't started scanning yet, so now it's starting to scan, I guess. So it seems that this home page, everything is okay. Let me turn it zoom, do this. So meaning this home page is okay. Okay, so if I try to go ahead and continue scrolling, it's still okay. Still okay. So maybe if I go ahead and try to click on my projects to render the projects, which I guess there's now a mismatch onto the projects. Projects cannot be re-rendering like this. I'm trying to zoom out, and there are many renders happening in here. So I can go ahead and click the entire applications to get to see it. So I can now see the whole tree. You can see it is having 15 arrays whereby it's passing in and children, which is having an array. Great. So these are like the props coming in. So it has some themes, which is system like blah blah. So it has some app directory, which is true. It's an app directory. So it also has these empty objects under the context, which is weird. So yeah, so this is basically how you can use it. I can go ahead and maybe change and say I want to select maybe a default one component like this one. So after selecting it, to take me randomly speed there to this one, whereby I can go ahead and select for instance, can go ahead and select this part. Oh, it's now gonna give me that this is a project. Gives you all the data, guys. So for example, this is the project, that's the ID. It's gonna give you the image, it's gonna give you the title, it's gonna give you the subtitle, all everything like the way it is supposed to be, honestly. So status on hold, created ads, everything is such a super amazing with this tool. And the most interesting part is that you see now this one is trying to show you the state. There's some state running onto this page, which is you know false. Great. So the most thing I like about this tool, and the most promising, that they are still putting in some new things running. So you can go ahead and as well try to test out your application and see, you see, you have to come to see if everything is okay, working properly for you. Yeah, otherwise I'm gonna link this everything we've gone through into the description. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and link the GitHub for you. I'm gonna link as well this game for you to test. I'm gonna link also this if necessary, so I'll just go ahead and link all these three into the description. Otherwise, it's been a pleasure for you to watch up to the end. And please, if you haven't liked or subscribed this to this channel, kindly please give us a like or subscribe to this channel. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye bye.